Yes, you are under arrest. Yes, your cooperation, it means large, okay?
It's private property and they're wanting you to send off and the bank and but right now.
You can detain me by just standing here. I don't have to have my hands behind my back.
On your back right now.
Dude, are you serious?
I am serious.
Are you racist, bro?
Huh?
I think you're racist.
Some officers wear the badge with pride. Others wear it like a shield to break the rules they swore to uphold. In this video, we're looking at dirty cops who thought they could get away with it, until one man with a camera, a clear understanding of his rights, and the courage to stand his ground exposed every lie on tape. What started as intimidation ended in embarrassment, and yes, you're going to see what happens when dirty cops make the mistake of a lifetime.
It's a Romberg test. So feet completely together, toes touching, arms by your side. What I'm going to tell you to, and when I tell you to, you're going to tilt your head back and you're going to close your eyes.
There's no more important event in a person's life than their child's graduation. On that day, the man went to the ceremony, but the police had other plans. Without any reason, they stopped him. One male, one female officer. Of course, the stop had no legal basis. They just made up whatever came in mind to justify their actions.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I figured I'd come in this way because I didn't want to be on the road.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm just going to go talk to my partner up here. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Everything? Okay,
Yeah,
you just hang tight, okay?
Seems
Can I just see his deal? Yeah, he's very... Yeah. Yep. What's up? Let's see that.
Before asking for insurance, the officer had already decided what story to tell. It wasn't about a traffic stop, it was about building a case from thin air. They questioned his route like it was a crime, not a detour. Suspicion didn't come from facts, but from the need to justify pulling him over. This was storytelling in uniform. In the next chapter, well, it's where fiction turns into force.
Got a DUI in 21.
Can you go up one? Is he on, is valid?
Going from Wadena, I would just say.
Coming from Wadena?
Going to his daughter's graduation of the ring.
When the officer realized there was nothing illegal about the man's route, his attention shifted to the man's job, his car, and even his medication. It didn't matter that the driver was calm, cooperative, or that nothing looked suspicious. The officer just needed something to justify continuing. So he latched onto the vague call about bad driving and started building from there. And unfortunately, this was only the foundation for what came next.
Brainerd. He missed it.
Unless he's going to that overpass.
Brainerd?
Yeah.
From Wadena, he would have just stayed on 10 to 210.
Yeah.
He would have never ever came this far.
Yeah.
6'4" Brainerd.
I don't know if he works so much.
Who's the RO on this car? It is him. Can you add him as my driver, please? But yeah, totally up to you.
Yeah, it's fine with me. I get off in a couple hours or an hour and a half.
Yeah, do you just want to hang tight just behind him?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if did you have your proof of insurance?
Yep. Would you like to see it too?
Yes, please. Yeah, so
Is it okay to open it up?
absolutely. You don't have any knives, weapons,
No.
guns, or anything in there?
No, absolutely not.
Glossy eyes, long shift, a traffic call. None of it added up to probable cause, but the officer spoke like he had already had a guilty man in front of him. Declaring himself a drug recognition expert gave him an excuse to stretch the stop even longer. This was stalling with a badge, and the longer he kept talking, the clearer it became that he didn't plan on letting this go.
Yes, that's just fine. Where are you coming from?
Alexandria, just got off work on my way to my daughter's graduation.
Alexandria.
Yeah.
High school graduation?
Yep.
And if you own the car?
Yep, I sure do.
Okay. What were you doing in Alec?
I work there for Mark Lee.
For what?
Mark Lee Asphalt. I drive a semi dump truck.
Gotcha.
Just got off work and got my
What were
clean
you
clothes
doing
here.
while driving? Were you on your phone or something while
I got
driving?
hands free.
Well, you were called in for being all over the road.
Yeah, that doesn't make no sense to me at all.
Okay, there's no reason that you would have been...
All over the road, or it was never all over the road. Somebody Must be Josh, and it must be a prank or something. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I haven't been all over the road and had no issues. So.
Okay. Are you taking any prescription medications?
I take Adderall.
When's the last time we took Adderall?
It takes nerve to accuse someone of drug use just because they look tired after a 15-hour shift. But when you wear a badge, all it takes is a little confidence and a title like drug recognition expert to make nonsense sound official. The man was polite, clear, and trying to get to his daughter's graduation, but none of that mattered, and they were just warming up.
6 o'clock this morning.
How many milligrams is that?
30.
30. Okay. Once a day.
Once a day.
Morning, 6. How about anything else?
No.
Any illegal controlled substance uses
No.
that we use? How about alcohol?
No.
Okay, so I'm a drug recognition evaluator, and there's a couple concerning things.
Okay.
I'm going to run you through a few tests.
Okay.
Your eyes are glossy, watery. Your driving conduct's being called in. I'm going to run you through some tests and make sure you're good to go. Okay.
Okay.
Any questions with that?
No.
If you want to, you can shut your car off.
Hope I'm not late for my daughter's graduation.
What time's that at?
7 o'clock.
Okay. Hopefully not.
I still got to change into some clean clothes.
You don't want to wear that?
No.
Okay, hands up. Do you wear any knives or anything?
No.
Okay, a quick pat, because sometimes that's totally fine. People forget that they have pocket knives, especially if they do construction. I'm going to have you come back towards my
I work
car.
15 hours a day, so.
Okay. So what time did you start this morning?
The officer spent more time probing the man's health rather than proving any crime, as if a long commute or a melatonin gummy counted as evidence. There was no reason to delay him, just a growing list of irrelevant questions dressed up as procedure. Field sobriety tests were about stalling, and what comes next proves just how far they're willing to stretch their authority.
You started at 6?
Yeah.
So do you have to, where do you live?
I live in Elbow Lake,
Where's that?
south of Fergus Falls.
Okay, so do you have to drive, is it in Alec, or that's just where the job is
That's
today?
where I work right out of Alexandria every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
How long of a drive is that?
From Elbow Lake.
Okay, I'm going to have you stand in front of my grill here,
Okay.
face your car.
Okay.
Any recent brain injuries,
No.
concussions,
No.
tumors
No.
that you know of? Any lower body injuries that prevent you from walking, or
No.
I won't have you doing any cartwheels, so you'll be okay.
All right.
Blind in either eye?
No.
Do you wear contacts?
No.
Okay. Just a couple questions I ask. Have you done field sobriety before?
Yeah.
Okay, so I may do stuff very similar, but I also might do it a little different from in the past. I'll explain everything,
Okay.
so you won't be guessing. If you have questions, just ask. Okay? First thing I do is I just take a pulse.
Okay.
So you just relax right here.
The man wasn't stumbling, slurring, or acting erratically, so the officer relied on a 30-second guessing game to manufacture doubt. This kind of test has no real legal weight, but it gives the officer something to write down when they have nothing else. Asking why his toes must touch like he's on a balance beam only highlighted the absurdity, but these cops were just building fiction, and the script keeps getting darker.
I'm gonna get my little stopwatch up. There you go. Yep, and just relax there. It's just the Adderall that you take
Yeah.
daily?
Vitamin C and a zinc.
That's totally fine.
Melatonin gummy at night when I go to bed.
What was I gonna say? What I was gonna say. So next test, it's a Romberg test. So
Okay.
feet completely together.
He passed the test, so the officer shifted to the next one without missing a beat. That's the thing. When someone doesn't fail, they don't stop. They just change the rule. Field sobriety exams become a performance, not an assessment, and the officer plays director. And if you think this ends with a fair evaluation, think again, because this show has a real twist.
Okay.
Toes touching, arms by your side.
Okay.
What I'm going to tell you to, and when I tell you to, you're going to tilt your head back and you're going to close your eyes.
Okay.
While you do that, you're going to estimate the passage of 30 seconds.
Okay.
In your head, however you do it.
Okay.
When you believe 30 seconds has passed,
Okay.
you're going to tilt your head down just like you are now and open your eyes and say stop.
Okay.
Any questions
Does
with
it
that?
might be have to be that close? Can it be that?
They
like
have to
that?
be touching,
Okay.
if you can.
All right.
Any reason that they would have to be apart?
It just kind of feels a little weird.
Yeah, we don't usually stand like that.
Yeah.
But for this test, yes,
Okay.
you'll stand like that.
Okay.
Any questions?
No.
So I tell you when to start, and you're going to tell me when to stop.
Okay. Eyes open, closed.
Eyes closed.
Okay, eyes
yep.
closed, okay.
Yep. So I'll tell you when to start. I'll make sure nobody's coming. Okay, you can begin. Spray, bruxism.
Instead of admitting there was no real cause to detain him, the officer fixated on eye movements like they held the answer to a crime that never happened. Every polite answer the man gave was ignored because the point wasn't to clear him, it was to keep him. They weren't watching his eyes for signs of danger, they were watching for a reason to escalate, and what they would find next wouldn't be in his pupils.
Finished.
How'd you get there?
What do you mean?
How'd you get to 30? Did you count? Did you just guess? Did you I just asked?
Yeah.
Counted in your head?
Counted in my head. Was I close?
You're close.
Okay.
You'd be surprised with the answers I get.
Okay.
So you're a little taller than I am, so I'm going to have you have a seat on this chair.
right.
Well, I shouldn't say chair, but it'll be your chair for
All right.
this. What I'm going to do is you're going to follow the tip of my finger with
Okay.
your eyes and your eyes only. It'll
Okay.
be going side to side. Try not to move your head side to side with it.
Okay.
Just keep your head exactly straight on, and you're just moving our eyes.
The officer kept circling his finger like it was a medical exam, not a roadside stop with no legal footing. The more tests he ran, the clearer it became that he wasn't looking for signs of danger. He was trying to justify why this man was still being detained. There was no probable cause, just a growing list of distractions. And what they do next makes this delay look almost reasonable.
Okay.
Any questions with that?
Nope.
You said you're not blind in either eye?
No, astigmatism, but I can see good enough to do this test.
I got those too. Makes my contacts more expensive. See my finger?
Yeah.
Okay.
The officer had already made up her mind, but still went through the motions as if this test could change anything. Instructions were piled on, like the man was applying for a role, not proving his innocence. Standing heel to toe doesn't prove intoxication. It proves patience, balance, and obedience. The longer this went on, the easier it was to see that none of those qualities were going to help him.
Relax your eyes. This next one's also an eye test.
Okay.
What I do is I make 2 big circles around your face.
Okay.
You're going to still follow the finger the whole time.
Okay.
And I'm going to come close into your nose. I won't touch you, but it'll get close.
Okay.
Your eyes will cross. Do you have any issues crossing your eyes that you know of?
No.
Have you ever tried to cross your eyes when you
No.
were younger or anything?
Yeah.
But we're always able to cross your eyes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is just make those 2 circles.
Okay.
Come in close. Won't touch you. You just
Okay.
track the finger all the way in.
Okay.
Any questions?
Try my best.
Okay. See my finger?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, one more time. Okay, let your eyes relax.
He followed every instruction without hesitation, but that never earned him trust. Rules kept changing. New surface, new stance, new reason to doubt him. Even his work shoes became part of the conversation as if their bounce might somehow explain away the officer's suspicion. We know that this was never about whether he could walk straight, and what's coming next only confirms it.
It's not seeing cross-eyed
Did
anymore.
you do okay?
Your eyes were able to cross.
Thank you.
Yeah, some people just can't cross their eyes. Next test, you can have it stand up. It's going to be a walk and turn test.
Okay.
So where you're at right now is perfect. Where your left foot's at, you can take a step off that little lip. There you go. Where your left foot's at, put your right foot in front of that.
Okay.
And stand like that till I tell you to start the test. Keeping your arms by your side, and I'll show you exactly what I'm going to be having you do, okay? So what you're going to do is a series of 9 heel-to-toe steps forward, turn around, and do 9 back. And I'll show you exactly what you're looking for, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Once you get to that 9th step, you keep that last one planted. Take a series of small steps, pivoting on that last one. 9 back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He balanced perfectly, counted clearly, followed every demand, and still it wasn't enough. They circled back to his shoes, as if the padding was the real issue here, not the lack of evidence. When someone passes every test, the officer still wants more. It's no longer an evaluation, right? It's a trap. Suggesting he remove his footwear also wasn't about fairness, and the deeper they dig, the more shameless it's about to get.
7, 8, 9. Once you start the test, don't stop until we finish. Turning the way I did, hitting that heel to toe and keeping your arms by your side.
Okay.
Any questions?
No.
Okay. You can begin whenever.
Okay.
Go ahead.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Slow
5,
down.
6,
Down toe.
7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay. Face your car. So this one's a one-leg stand test, and I'll have you take a step off. We'll go on this even pavement because the other one's a little bit uneven. So
These
this
shoes
one,
are so bouncy, they can't make me get.
those are good shoes. Those are expensive work
They
shoes.
are expensive.
They're good for your body.
$175.
Yes, they're not cheap anymore. That's a good brand.
Field sobriety was over, but the officer wasn't ready to let go, so he reached for the man's record. The officer brought up a years-old case as if it excused dragging the man through a second investigation on the side of the road. That kind of research shows exactly how little the present facts mattered. In any lawful stop, prior history only matters after new evidence exists. Here, it was the starting point.
Thank you.
So what you're going to do is you're going to raise either your right or left, whichever one's easier. Some people have a more dominant leg. You're going to raise it approximately 6 inches off the ground, just like mine is, completely flat.
Okay.
Arms by your side,
Okay.
looking at the tip of your toe with your eyes,
Okay.
counting out loud, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, and so on until I tell you to stop.
Okay.
While you're doing it, try not to sway, try not to hop, and keep those arms by your side.
Okay.
Any questions?
No.
Okay, and whichever foot you decide, that's fine.
Okay.
You just start whenever, and I'll tell you when to stop.
Okay.
Okay?
1,000.
Little higher, so it'll be about 6 inches off the ground, pointing that toe straight.
1,000.
There you go.
5,
Point that toe
1,000.
straight. Keep that level,
6,
like mine.
1,000.
See how it's flat? There you go.
1, 1,000. 2, 1,000.
Looking at that
3,
toe.
1,000. 4, 1,000. 5, 1,000. 6, 1,000. 7, 1,000. 8, 1,000. 9, 1,000. 10, 1,000, 11, 1,000, 12, 1,000, 13, 1,000, 14, 1,000, 15, 1,000. Sorry.
Okay. Nope, you're okay. No need to apologize. Okay, I'm going to take a pulse again. You can have a seat again.
These shoes are squishy, so.
Those are good shoes.
Yeah, they are, but they're kind of.
Mine are pretty solid, man.
Huh?
Mine are pretty solid.
Yeah, these here got such a big pad on them. I feel like I'm standing on a balloon.
Do you want to try it with taking your shoes off?
The breath test showed 0 alcohol, but instead of ending the stop, the officers circled back to past mistakes and personal struggles. The officers got a clean test result and still couldn't admit they were wrong. Instead of ending it there, they shifted to personal question, trying to link insurance issues to drug use. And if zeros on a breath test won't stop them, wait until you see what they tried to prove next.
I think I did get enough.
Okay. It's not an ask. Some people want to go barefoot.
I feel pretty confident I passed the sobriety test.
Mosquitoes are coming out. Anything alcohol-wise today,
No.
or in the last 24 hours? Anything in your mouth?
No.
Stick your tongue out. So I get lied to every day, so we'll just knock that PBT out. How does that sound?
Cool.
Sound good? Did we have a DWI in the past before?
Yes.
What was that one for? Drugs or alcohol?
Drugs.
What was that? Okay. Was that your drug of choice?
No.
Wasn't your drug of choice? How'd we end up using it then?
I ended up drinking some water that had it in it. And
Oh.
Instead of admitting the investigation had collapsed, the officer doubled down, scrutinizing how many Adderall pills the man takes as if pharmacy math could expose a crime. But prescription medications aren't contraband and personal routines aren't probable cause. What's alarming is how quickly illegal medication becomes a weapon in the hands of someone looking for fault. And now that pills didn't give her what she wanted, she'll try something even lower.
When's the last time we used meth?
July 7th, 2020.
2020. How often did we use it in the past? Pretty often.
Oh, when I lose my insurance for my Adderall.
Oh, gotcha. Blow, 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 blow. There you go.
Yeah.
Zeros. You were telling the truth. You'd be surprised, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay. Wasn't very honest. When you lose your insurance for Adderall.
Yeah, I lost my insurance.
How long ago?
The officer flipped through the man's prescriptions like she was auditing a crime lab, not standing on the side of the road. She questioned his diabetes meds with the same suspicion as a street drug, twisting normal routines into red flags. And when she warns him about his pockets, it's clear she's not finished digging.
Oh, this was years ago. I'm going on.
Are you on probation or anything?
No.
When's the last time we used meth?
July 7th, 2020.
Cocaine?
No, I haven't used that since I was in high school.
How do we take our Adderall?
Orally. I have my prescription with me if you'd like to see it.
Do you have it? Yes, I'd like to see it. No weapons that are in there, just since we're going back to our car?
I grab my backpack, is that okay?
That's absolutely fine. Yep. Just, I'm going to ask you again, no drugs or
Absolutely
anything
not.
in there?
I get drug tests. I got Class A. I drive commercial vehicles, so.
Okay. So you take this how often?
Once a day.
Once a day? How many do you get prescribed? 30? What day is it today?
The 31st.
So how come we have a tab and a half?
Probably because on the weekend maybe I felt like taking a half tab instead of a whole one.
Did we just take a half tab today? Tonight?
She demanded details about drug use from years ago, like they were happening today, pressing him to relive every mistake as if it justified detaining him now. And when that failed, she moved to body inspection, asking him to tilt his head so she could play medical examiner without a license. And then, of course, came another accusation.
Not tonight. No, I haven't had one since this morning.
Okay. So
I gotta work again tomorrow morning. I only take them in the morning, so.
oh, okay.
With my metformin.
What's the metformin?
Oh yeah, I
for?
forgot to tell you, I'm on metformin too.
What's that one for?
Diabetes.
Oh, okay. So we're supposed to take it every day,
Yeah, and that's
and this was prescribed in April 17th, right?
yeah.
So do we not take it every day?
And sometimes on the weekends or I just take a half one. I don't have work, so
Okay.
the weekends I kind of relax and just veg out. So I've had it
Chill.
over. Just chill.
chill.
I don't need to be so focused on the weekend.
Yeah.
So that's
I get it.
been filled over a month and a half ago, and
Yeah, I see that.
I
So
still got 1.5 left. So
I saw that. Can we stay out of our pockets
Yeah.
though? You're about to lose your mirror.
She listened to a man describe being tased into a coma for something he didn't do and used it to question his behavior. She then accused him of being agitated, as if fear around the police wasn't earned. He passed every test, gave every answer, and still ended up in cuffs. And now she's made her decision. The truth doesn't stand a chance.
a deer hit me.
How did we use the meth in the past, besides just that one or that drink in it? Did we smoke it or snort it or shoot it?
Oh no, I don't.
No needles?
Never know.
How did we use it in the past?
Snort it.
You snort it? Do you have any? Do you have your septum? Look up.
Oh
once.
yeah.
Have you ever looked in somebody's nose after they snort stuff?
I haven't snorted anything in 4 years.
Okay.
Just about. So
Just
3.5.
smoked it then?
No, I haven't smoked in 3.5 since July 7th of 2020.
Okay.
So
you're showing a lot of signs of stimulant use beyond a prescribed dosage. So I don't know if you took it at 6 a.m., right?
yeah.
And took 30 milligrams,
Yeah.
you're way too stimmed out right now for that. So when's the last time we actually took an Adderall pill?
6 o'clock this morning.
Okay, so what else would we have that's making you stim?
Nothing. I don't have no caffeine, no pop.
She knew he wasn't impaired, and she knew he was headed to his daughter's graduation, but none of that mattered once her ego locked in on a DWI charge she couldn't prove. Instead of admitting there was no case, she weaponized the delay, knowing full well the lab results wouldn't come back that night. Keeping someone in jail just in case isn't public safety, and she's not done punishing him yet.
I drink bottles of water. Last time I had encounters with the cops, they were at the wrong room. They tased me, six cops tased me 12 times in 6 minutes.
You don't fight with cops, do you?
No.
Just that once?
I didn't fight with them that time either.
Well, if you got tased 12 times, that wasn't very cooperative.
No, I was face down and got tased 12 times and put in a coma. So,
how long ago was that?
A few years ago.
Okay. So,
Yeah, so I get nervous around cops a little bit, you know.
And I can get that, but
no,
have
I was
ever...
the wrong person, wrong room, wrong everything.
But I've never given you a reason to be nervous, right?
Well, you already know. You're telling me I'm overstimulated, and I just passed your sobriety test, and
you're making now you're getting agitated, which makes me a little nervous.
Am I getting arrested for DWI? Or are we going in, or what
are you going to be cooperative?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you are under arrest. Yeah. Yes, so your cooperation, it means large, okay?
He got upset, and rightfully so. Any human would be, especially when they're locked up for nothing while their daughter waits at her own graduation. But she wasn't interested in facts or fairness. She had power, and this was her chance to show off. Keeping him overnight was the message, and watching him beg only made it easier for her to prove who controlled the night.
I am going to stack it so it's a little bit more comfortable.
So I'm missing my daughter's graduation.
Okay, we'll try to make this fast, okay?
What do we do? Go take a drug test?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank God. I didn't make it by 7. Oh, I can pass the drug test.
Okay, but the thing is, do you have somebody that can come get you? Because if I'm arresting you for a DWI...
Oh, I'll pass your drug test.
No, sir. So what's going to happen, and I'll explain it to you, is we have to go in for a BCA drug test, which I don't get the results for today.
So I'll be in jail overnight?
Can you just listen for 1 second? Are you going to be cooperative the entire time?
Yes. Can I grab my wallet? Can you give me my wallet, please?
I'll grab all your wallet and stuff.
I can't call my daughter, tell her I'm not going to make her graduation. Oh my God.
Try to relax here, okay? Can you face your car for me? Do you want the cash left in the car, or do you want to take it with you?
Take it with me.
Okay.
He worked 70 hours a week, raised a daughter who became valedictorian, and still got dragged off the road like a threat. He brought up church, sobriety, even asked if her camera was on, because men like him know that the only thing more dangerous than a lie is one that isn't recorded. She didn't need a reason to ruin his night, just the quiet satisfaction of knowing she could.
Well, what about it?
We are in Little Falls.
Why do you think I'm overstimulated? I don't understand.
So I'm a drug recognition evaluator.
Right.
And you're showing numerous signs of...
Like what?
Like,
I've took you my prescription.
you wanted that with you, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. Come on back with me.
I'd like to call my mom or somebody.
Well, I'll grab your phone. I will. Okay, come on back. Come on back.
Am I going to be in jail overnight?
We'll see. Typically, yes, you would be, but we're going to see how cooperative you are.
I'm going to pass every drug test you got. I have 0 drugs in me.
Okay, go ahead.
No pot, no coke, no meth, no nothing. Just Adderall.
Okay, have a seat. Do you want to bring your sunglasses with, or you want me to leave them in the car?
I don't know. Ouch.
Yeah, try to relax. I'm going to turn some air on for you, okay?
When the field tests and the drug claims failed, they fell back on a cracked windshield and a brake light, as if minor equipment issues justified dragging a man off the road. No swerving, no speeding, just jerky. Vague enough to sound concerning, flimsy enough to avoid challenge. And of course, it all suddenly became urgent once the cameras were rolling. Now they've got him in custody, and they just need to finish the paperwork on the fantasy.
Turn the heat off. Air's on, okay? She's valedictorian?
70 hours a week. I can't believe this. I've been drug free and going. Hey, wait.
What's wrong?
I attend set free. I go to church.
Okay, hold on, okay? I don't know. Is your dash cam camera on? Okay, look Looked like mine wasn't on, but my body camera was on, so.
My dash cam has been on. I've been rolling the whole time. Too.
Okay. Yeah, I just went to turn on my back seat and my front camera wasn't on, but my...
Now that he's in cuffs, they're piecing together a story from scraps, half a pill, a shift in posture, fingers twitching on his leg. None of it means anything legally, but it's enough to pad a report. They were now building a defense for an arrest that had no foundation. When the law doesn't support the outcome, they just start rewriting the details, and this rewrite isn't even subtle.
I was trying to position myself to like see.
That's perfect. And my squat, I didn't have the driving, so what did you see in driving conduct?
Yeah, well, he's got a cracked windshield, and then he has a inoperable passenger side brake light.
Okay.
And then, yeah, he was kind of jerky. He didn't cross over any lines when I was behind him.
Yep.
He, you know, like jerky.
Yep. Yep.
You know.
Yep.
Makes
Yeah, so
sense.
ours had, the collar had them all over.
You want to help search?
Yeah, sure. I usually do toll, because we're in the middle of an alley.
Yeah, it's a public roadway.
Yeah. 6-4 Brainerd. I'm 1015, 56D. Can you start a toll for me, please? Just let them know I'm in the alley.
They dug through his personal belongings without a warrant, without consent, and without any clear reason, just casual guesses about his medical supplies and whether he might need them. Under the Fourth Amendment, none of this is justified. But when officers believe the arrest already validates the process, the law becomes an afterthought. And now they'll prove just how little they care about what the law actually says.
Between 8th and 9th. So he wanted his phone. Yeah, so his Adderall he's not taking as prescribed. So yeah, a pill and a half.
What was his pulse?
First one was 118, second one was 124 or 6. I wrote it down.
And Romberg, I didn't.
35. He was fidgeting that whole time. So did you see during HGN his fingers on his leg too?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, he was like this the whole time on his leg.
Yeah.
Bruxism.
I saw that. But he stopped right in the middle of 27 when I stopped him.
Oh, did you tell him to move into here?
Yeah.
When cops search a vehicle and find nothing, most would see that as a dead end, but not these two. For them, it was a challenge. The dings, the air freshener, the silence. Suddenly, everything became suspicious because the one thing they can't tolerate more than a lie is having nothing to blame it on.
So that was before I even stopped and talked to him. We were like right here, right in front of this alleyway. I'm like, just pull in the alleyway.
Okay. Yeah, it's.
And
Well, then I went by and I'm like,
then I walked up here and I was like, ooh.
yeah.
There's a whole shovel.
So did you say he was diabetic?
What?
You said he was. Did you say he was diabetic?
Yeah, he said he took that.
So I wonder if he needs to take this with him. But it doesn't have his prescription on it. It looks like it's got a blood sugar test on it. I might bring that with just in case. I don't know.
I don't know how in depth we're going to go into all this.
I wonder if he wants that with.
You're on a Florida 2018. Yeah.
The officer stared into a jar and threw out wild guesses like she was diagnosing street drugs by instinct alone. One minute it was Adderall, the next it was meth, and then suddenly it was a handful of something, because when facts don't cooperate, imagination fills the gap. But stay with this scene because she's still not done pretending she knows what she's doing.
Lincoln Island Board, Edward 35.
Got a lot of charges. What is dinging? Is that his car?
What?
Yeah. Like, what is dinging? What is Al on? They were searching an apartment. Air fresheners.
What?
Imagine a cop deciding whether a man deserved his prescription meds in jail based on her own personal opinion of how he takes them. She had no medical training, yet she casually judged what he needed as if it made it legal. And the worst part, she knew the jail wouldn't verify it. What comes next makes that clear.
I'm gonna quick do a tow log. Hopefully, I wonder who they got.
If you fill it out, I can sit on it if you want.
Yeah, because it'll take me a little bit to do the search warrant. I'm just gonna leave his Adderall in. Did I lock the car? Oh, I shut his windows. Put his Adderall back in his backpack.
I'm gonna take it as evidence.
No, I documented it on here. I don't want to take his prescription, and then even his insulin, because I don't think they'll give it to them.
I suppose because you can't verify what it is.
Right.
I guess you could be rather be safe than sorry. They could just throw it in his property.
Because Adderall, he already says he doesn't take as he's supposed to daily. So if he's not using it, he doesn't need it that day. I'm gonna put that in the cup holder.
She looked him in the eyes, heard him beg to see his daughter graduate, and still moved forward like nothing human was being taken from him. He explained, pleaded, and promised. She repeated the line about impairment like it was carved in stone, even though nothing supported it. She enjoyed watching a man break. And if you think that was the low point, now ready for what's next.
Yes, sir? What's that?
You go to my daughter's graduation, I promise you there's been no drugs.
So even if you can still get a DWI off of a prescription medication, okay? You're showing signs of impairment caused by the prescriptions. Even if it's not a prescription, it's a stimulant of some kind. What I am going to do for you, because you're late, you're not going to make it in time. Do you want to call somebody to let them know? I can't let you go. We have to do this process.
Please.
I'll try to get you going as soon as we can. I can't. My hands are tied.
Graduation, please.
I know.
Please.
So I'm just gonna. We're gonna get going and we're gonna get
I
to.
swear to God, I've done no drugs, please.
So I can't. We're under arrest for DWI. But do you want to call somebody quick to let them know you won't make it in time? Do you want to do that or do you want to wait?
She read him his rights like it meant something, but by that point, every right he had was already steamrolled. He asked if he'd be jailed all weekend because he had to work at 6, and instead of answering, she launched into charges. She knew it would be a third-degree DWI, and she knew it was flimsy, but she kept going anyway.
Yes, call someone again.
What's your pin?
I ain't gonna get like that.
Do you want your hands or can you go off to the
Am I
side?
gonna be in jail overnight, all weekend, or what? I gotta work tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.
When's our last? Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question, but first I'm gonna read you something, right? You're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have a right to an attorney and have an attorney present during questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you with little to no cost. Do you understand those rights?
Yes.
So now I'm gonna ask you questions. I'm gonna explain everything, so at least then if you answer a question, I read you that. When was your last DWI? Was it within 10 years?
2019.
19, it is 24 now. Okay, so we're within 10, so it would be a third-degree DWI. You're still not required to see a judge. Okay? So
He told her he'd driven a semi all day, explained his medical condition, and still she stood there, insisting he was impaired, based not on facts, but her own interpretation of symptoms she clearly didn't understand. She was determined to turn his health into a charge, and if you think logic will slow her down, wait until you see what she does with medical records.
I'm not going to make you sit all night, but can somebody come get you at 7 in the morning to get you to work? Well, you can't drive, because I'm arresting you for being impaired while driving.
I promise you, I'm not impaired.
We're impaired by prescription medications.
I'm not impaired. I drove a semi all day.
Okay, but I'm just telling you what you're under arrest for, and what I see are the signs of impairment.
I ran out of my Ozempic yesterday. My blood sugar's probably high.
Okay, so even that's not going to cause what I'm seeing. But I did bring I think you have insulin. right? Or you have something?
Oh.
What was in that little thing with a finger prick and it looked like a blood sugar testing and it looked like one thing of, was that Ozempic or was that insulin?
Probably it was I get my prescription filled on Monday.
Okay. And we can have the hospital check your blood as well.
But she didn't need test results because she already had a charge. His commercial license, his job, his future, it all hung in the balance, and she brushed it off like it was a scheduling conflict. He asked if he'd lose everything. She told him to wait 3 months and take it up with the court. And if you think she felt even slightly responsible, listen to what she says next.
But
you're not going to find nothing in my system other than my Adderall, and you're not going to find a high level of it. You're going to find it within normal range.
Okay, then that's what we're going to find.
Well, I still get a DWI out of that?
You're under arrest for DWI.
I'm going to lose my CDL for this or what?
This is one.
It's my job.
I know. So the blood doesn't come back for like 2-3 months. So everything stays as is for 3 months. Then you can take it to court. You can fight it in court. You can do whatever. But that's the process that goes.
How long will it take for you to release me? I can't drive my car out of here.
Absolutely not. I just arrested you for a DWI.
I'm not going to make a graduation.
No, we're not making a graduation tonight. So that's where we're at now. And we try to make this as fast and smooth as possible.
So heartbroken.
I know. So move your knee in, okay? Okay.
She poked at an empty medical pen, trying to sound informed while clearly having no idea what she was holding. Instead of asking a professional, she guessed. Instead of confirming facts, she assumed. And that's what happens when officers act like experts in everything, from endocrinology to pharmacology, without being trained in either. And if you're wondering how far someone will go to pretend they're right, keep watching.
Which also tells me, yeah. So he said this is Ozempic, so he won't be. And it's empty.
What is that?
Well, it's like. Oh. So it's what everybody's using right now for weight loss. It's to help your insulin levels within. It's not insulin. But. Yeah, I'm going to see who they have for a tow. Okay.
His hand was going numb, and instead of responding with basic care, she used it as a moment to reassert control. He asked if the cuffs could be moved for medical comfort, not released, not removed, just adjusted, and she turned it into a question of trust as if every plea for relief was part of a hidden agenda. Imagine needing medical help and being treated like a threat.
One hand is going numb, ma'am.
Which foot, which hand?
My right hand.
Okay, let me take a peek at it, okay? Which hand?
This is one right.
This one?
This one right here.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna have to step out for me. You can turn like normal and then just step out.
Ouch.
Yeah, so it's resting on it, so I'll turn it. Do you want me to try to cuff you a different way?
Can I just have it in my front?
No,
That neck
because
surgery is really uncomfortable.
are you gonna fight me if I move it in the front?
No, I promise you, no, I can't whatsoever.
Okay. So I get the frustration and I get all that, but
God, you'll never forgive me.
that's not true. Nope, I know that's not true.
You won't believe me.
That's not
The man was eventually arrested and detained for no reason other than a bruised ego and apparent desire to be dominated by a female officer. However, as soon as he was released from jail, he posted a video to YouTube exposing these officers. That is what happens when dirty cops make the mistake of a lifetime. So what do you think? Do these officers deserve to be fired? Let us know in the comments and we'll move on to the next, even more absurd case. When this YouTuber began exercising his constitutional rights, things quickly took a turn. He was peacefully filming from a public space, never stepping onto bank property, just documenting, not disrupting, but that was enough to spark a police response, triggered by a nervous 911 call. What followed was less about law and more about ego, because the cops didn't show up to protect those rights.
Yeah, I'm sorry, red sunglasses? Yes. Where's he at? Apparently. He's very large. He's behind our building. Is he black, white, Hispanic? He's black. I totaled 300.
This was the moment the officer could have done his job properly. He could have told the bank employees that filming from public space isn't a crime and that Constitution protects exactly this kind of activity and that no one has to show ID just to make others uncomfortable. But instead, he showed up ready for confrontation. He didn't calm anyone down and he added himself to the problem.
So he is at this moment. He is behind our building, back where our dumpster is. Maybe 3 parking spaces over from my vehicle under a tree.
He's under the tree.
Yes.
Did you see any weapons on him by chance?
No.
Okay. What was your name and a phone number?
How's it going, man? How are you today? We had someone call on you from the bank here. So they said you were like coming in and out of the store or saying you're acting weird.
I got a video. I can't really talk right now.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Real quick, do you have an ID on you?
A what?
You have your ID on you by
Yeah,
chance?
I can't. I'm in the middle of my job right now. I can't really do anything.
Okay.
Yeah. If you give me like an hour or so and then you come back or something, then I'll be happy to talk to you.
The officer couldn't be bothered to identify a single boundary line, confirm property ownership, or verify whether the caller had any legal authority to issue a trespass claim. Instead, he leaned on the classic move, declaring private property like it's a magic phrase that overrides the First Amendment. In reality, unless a lawful property owner directly asks someone to leave and the person refuses, there is no trespassing. But wait, he's about to get even more confident in his ignorance.
Well, this is private property. I think they're wanting you to leave.
Where?
What's that?
Where?
You're on private property right now, so I think they're wanting you to leave.
Oh, I gotta finish my job.
What's your job?
I just gotta document real quick.
Okay, what do you?
Yeah, if you come back like in an hour, I'll talk to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's private property, and they're wanting you to step off. And the bank and but Verizon, I'm not sure about them.
Yeah, no. I just gotta finish. Can I finish this real quick?
Okay. Real quick, what's your name? What's your name, man?
I can't really get that. My boss told me not to give.
Your boss told you not to?
Any information or anything like that.
Who are you working for?
My boy KCA.
KCA?
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of work are y'all doing?
We just documenting stuff. I gotta keep doing it. But,
Okay, I got you.
Don't go in here and ask them if they want to leave.
Why's that?
Instead of enforcing the law, the officer went fishing for permission, asking an employee if they preferred the man was not there. Like vague discomfort was enough to justify police action. Spoiler, it's not. Under trespass law, there has to be a clear verbal warning from someone with legal authority over the property. The cop knew exactly what he was doing until you see how far he's willing to stretch this line.
Why's that?
I gotta go in here. I gotta make an exchange.
Okay.
Sir.
Yep. Hey, this dude that's out behind your property, like, is he bothering y'all at all? Like, he's got like a GoPro and he's filming the bank for some reason. I think he's got some mental issues, but the bank called on him saying he was going in and out of the property, like filming their location. So
I mean, you probably prefer not to.
Prefer not to. Okay, yeah. I got you.
Yeah, I hadn't heard anything.
Yeah.
I saw you pull up over there, and I was wondering, because every now and then when somebody will bump one of our panic
Yeah,
alarms.
he's behind your building right now.
Okay. Yeah, probably shouldn't do this.
Okay.
The officer walks straight past every legal requirement for trespass and chose instead to manufacture one on the spot. He even admitted on camera that he went door to door fishing for permission to remove him, which is coercion dressed up as protocol. And if this is how casually he bends the rule in public, well, imagine what happens when the cameras are off.
Hey man, both areas are wanting you to leave now, so it is.
I'm on this side right here.
Yeah, I know, but they're wanting you to leave as well.
You only went in Verizon.
Huh?
You only went in Verizon.
They're wanting you to leave.
I'm not on Verizon property.
Okay, well, if you want to play this, go ahead and put your hands on your back.
What are you doing?
Hey, listen.
Whoa, God, look at that.
Listen. If
Do you own this place here?
What's that?
Why are you touching me, man? I'm allowed to record.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Stop.
Can you take your hands off of me?
Hey, dude. You're being trespassed.
And you're gonna go viral.
If you're refusing to leave, then
you did not go over here and ask them. You know what? Watch this.
Okay.
You're gonna play those games. What's your name, by the way?
Officer Mueller.
Nice.
Hey, listen. If you don't want to leave,
dude, no.
So you are leaving? Perfect. Thank you.
I'm gonna be documenting from over here now.
Okay. Well, I'll ask the challengers
You're
today.
soliciting trespassers. You know that's illegal, right?
Do what now?
You can't go in and ask them if they want me to leave the property. It's illegal.
Why's that?
You're soliciting a trespass. You ever heard of that?
Okay. So,
At this point, the cop's grasp on property law is so flimsy you'd think he earned his badge from a YouTube tutorial. He can't even name who owns the land, can't point to a boundary, and somehow believes it's time to go is a legal command. Honestly, if ignorance was a crime, we'd need backup for him. And trust me, the bluffing isn't even the dumbest part of this stop.
so are you gonna get
you're
permission
soliciting.
from
I'm literally
McAllister's?
walking you into a trap, and you just fell for it.
Is that right?
You went in Verizon and solicited a trespass.
Okay. Well, they're wanting you to leave.
Who?
Verizon.
How do I know that you're not lying?
Okay. Well, are you refusing to leave?
I'm not on Verizon property.
Are you refusing to leave?
Let's look. We have AT&T, we have McAllister's, we have Cricket, we have this place right here. That's not Verizon's property. Yeah.
Okay. But it is time to get off the property. Okay?
Who? Who owns it?
Their property.
Who is they?
Huh?
Who is they?
Looks like Verizon.
Verizon doesn't own this whole thing, man.
Okay. Well, they're wanting you
Call
to
your
leave.
supervisor.
That's not going to happen.
You're not going to call your supervisor?
No, I don't have to right now.
Yeah, you do. I'm requesting a supervisor.
Yeah, no, you can request a supervisor later, but right now you need to get off the property. Okay?
I'm not on their property.
Okay, well, time to leave.
I think you're just man. You know Verizon doesn't own this whole thing.
Okay.
So you're trying to tell me to get off somebody else's property.
They're asking you to leave. Okay.
You said Verizon. Verizon's all the way down there.
Okay.
I'm not on Verizon property.
But it is time to go. Okay.
From where?
I don't know. Well, time to go.
You can't just tell people to leave.
Okay. Well, if the
You keep
private
saying
business-
okay.
Simple. Well, if a private business asks you to leave, like you were.
When did they ask me to leave?
Well, they're asking on behalf.
This guy couldn't identify the property owner if the deed was taped to his forehead, but somehow he's confident enough to make arrests. He thinks we're in a parking lot, counts as legal authority, and when that doesn't land, he moves straight to pocket paranoia, as if sticking your hands in your hoodie is now probable cause for having a shank, and somehow he still thinks he's winning.
Of me, okay?
Verizon?
I am telling you on behalf of them, okay?
You keep saying them and they and who. Verizon's all the way down there. I'm not on Verizon property.
Okay.
So what now?
So you are on private property right now.
How do you know?
Huh?
How do you know?
Because we're in a parking lot.
Verizon does not own this property.
Okay.
They have a business on this property, but you have to contact the guy who actually owns the property.
That's not necessarily true.
Sir. Oh man, you must be new. You must be a new officer.
Okay. Well, it is time to go. All right.
I said call your supervisor.
I don't have to call my supervisor.
I'm
right now.
requesting a supervisor.
That's fine, but
You're gonna fail to get a
go ahead and keep
supervisor?
your hands out of your pockets for me.
I don't have to.
Keep your hands out
Am
of your
I
pockets.
legally detained?
You're a trespasser right now.
I'm not. Nobody asked me to leave.
So keep your hands out of your pockets for me. All right.
Keep your hands off your vest. You could have a shank in there.
Okay.
It goes both ways, man.
All right. I told you to keep your hands out of your pockets.
Whoa, dude, what are you doing, man?
414.
What are you doing? I can put my hands in my
Download
pockets?
resisting. Put your hands on your back.
Why?
Put your hands on your back.
Why?
Because you're under arrest for
For
trespassing.
what? I'm not trespassing.
I told you to leave several times.
Dude, you told me to get away from Verizon. Look how far I am.
There's no law against pockets, but that didn't stop this officer from inventing one. He barked orders like a toddler with a bag, grabbed a man who had already moved off the property, and claimed verbal was now grounds for detainment. And here's the beauty of it. He did it all while the camera was rolling. Yes, he was that stupid.
I'm not even on their property.
He's just being verbal right now, and
I've requested a supervisor so you don't make a mistake.
you just put your hands on your back.
Why?
You're being detained.
Dude, you literally told me to get away from Verizon property. I walked all the way off of their property.
Keep your hands out of your pockets.
What law is that? What law is keeping your hands out of your pocket?
Behind your back.
I'm going to give you a chance. What law is it that I have to keep my hands out of my pocket?
Put your hands behind your back. You're being detained.
I'm asking for you to call a supervisor, and you're grabbing my wrist super hard.
Okay. I'm telling
Dude,
you. Put your hands on your back.
Welcome to
You're being
YouTube,
detained.
bud. Welcome
Okay.
to YouTube.
Quit pulling away.
I'm not pulling away.
Imagine being so sure of yourself that you refuse to call a supervisor, twist someone's arm behind their back, and still pretend you're just detaining them for safety. I mean, this guy was just standing still and asking for the one thing that every citizen has a right to, a second opinion. But that's the last thing officers like this want.
Put your hands behind your back. Right.
I'm going to wait for your supervisor. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay. Put your hands
Did you call a supervisor?
Put your hands.
Did you call a supervisor?
I will after you put your hands behind your back.
I'm going to wait for a supervisor to get here. I am not resisting. I am waiting for a supervisor to get here.
Okay.
And you're making like my watch go off.
Okay.
Like it's like doing a whole bunch of stuff.
Stay on.
Guys, so this officer's gripping me really hard.
By Verizon. Put your hands behind your back.
Is he a supervisor?
Put your hands behind your back.
I'm asking you questions. Why can't you answer? Is that a supervisor you're talking to?
Hey.
I'm waiting for a supervisor. I'm not resisting.
Okay. Hey, listen. You're being detained. Put your hands behind your back right now.
You can detain me by just standing here. I don't have to have my hands behind my
Put your hands
back.
behind your back right now.
Dude, are you serious?
I am serious.
Are you racist, bro?
Huh?
I think you're racist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put your hands behind your back. Put your other hand behind your back.
Guys, look, he's forcefully putting my hands behind my back.
Put your other hand behind your back.
I have to record, sir.
Put your other hand behind
I
your
am
back.
recording you.
You can keep recording.
I cannot keep recording.
Isn't it wild how fast a badge erases a promise? This officer swore an oath to uphold the Constitution, probably even not a year ago. And here he is pretending the First and Fourth Amendments don't exist. It's almost impressive how quickly accountability gets traded for control. And the next move, it's even more shameless.
I'm waiting for your supervisor, sir.
Put your other hand behind your back. Dude, just put your other hand behind your back. You can keep recording, but you have to put your other
Are
hand
you
behind
putting
your
me in handcuffs?
Yes, I am.
Are you a supervisor?
Put your other hand on your back right now.
Are you a supervisor? Okay, could you request one, please? Dude, you're about to break my thumb. Ow.
Put your other hand behind
So
your back.
I'm recording over here, just documenting for public interest. He went and Verizon and asked them if they wanted me to. What did you ask?
What?
What'd you ask Verizon?
Put your other hand behind your back. Put your hand behind your back.
Dude, I'm not doing anything illegal.
You're just being detained.
Okay, that's fine. So he went into Verizon and solicited a trespass.
Okay. What do you mean by solicited trespass?
He went in there and asked them if they want me to leave. I wasn't even there for Verizon.
Okay, were you on the property?
Like who?
Unfortunately, when dirty cops make the mistake of a lifetime, innocent people have to pay the price. The man was eventually arrested. The officers, though they hoped to appear powerful and in control, ended up as nothing more than the subject of ridicule on social media. Maybe next time they'll think twice before acting like they're above the law. If you thought this was bad, just wait. What's coming next will make this look tame. Some officers don't just cross the line, they drag it with them. So make sure you're here for the next one.